Luca Brasi was surprised and honored to be invited to Don Corleone's daughter's wedding. He insisted on thanking the Don personally for inviting him. Tom Hagen brought this matter to the Don.
He's not on the list, but Luca Brasi wants to see you.
Is this necessary?
He didn't expect to be invited to the wedding, so he wanted to thank you.
Brasi was so nervous about talking to Don Corleone that he rehearsed his lines before stepping into the Godfather's study.
Don Corleone, I am honored and grateful that you have invited me to your home on the wedding day of your daughter. And may their first child be a masculine child.
Even after rehearsing, he didn't exactly deliver the lines flawlessly.
Don Corleone, I am honored and grateful that you have invited me to your daughter's wedding. On the day of your daughter's wedding. And I hope that their first child be a masculine child. I pledge my ever-ending loyalty for your daughter's bridal purse.
Thank you, Luca. My most valued friend.
Don Corleone, I'm going to leave you now because I know you are busy.
Thank you.
I'm sure you remember these scenes well. You may, though, not be aware of their fascinating backstory. It begins when Sonny Corleone, played by James Caan, is furtively sneaking upstairs to fool around with one of the bridesmaids who awaits him there. Watch closely, and you'll see two kids running past the staircase. The first kid to run by is Lou Martini Jr., who grew up to play Anthony Infante in The Sopranos, among many other roles. Martini's father, Lou Martini Sr., was originally cast as Luca Brasi, but he suffered a fatal stroke before completing any of his scenes. Director Francis Ford Coppola needed a replacement. A bit of context. Production of The Godfather had initially been opposed by the Italian-American Civil Rights League led by singer Frank Sinatra and crime boss Joe Colombo. Coppola and producer Al Ruddy eventually made a deal with the League, which included famously cutting the word mafia entirely from the script. Once the deal was made, the League backed filming of the movie. As a consequence, mobsters often visited the set. One day in 1971, Joe Colombo himself, as well as other members of his crime family, were on The Godfather set. One of their bodyguards was a 6 foot 6 inch, 320 pound former wrestler named Lenny Montana. Montana had been a successful professional wrestler and even won the NWA Central States Heavyweight Championship. After he retired from wrestling, he became involved with the Colombo family. He first acted as an enforcer and also an arsonist, and quite a creative one at that. One of his techniques was to tie a tampon to the tail of a mouse, dip the tampon in kerosene, light it, and let the mouse run through a building. Another was to put a lighted candle in front of a cuckoo clock so that when the clock's bird would pop out, the candle would be knocked over and start a fire. Montana's efforts on behalf of the Colombo family landed him in New York's Rikers Island prison. Once he was released, instead of going back to enforcing and arson, he became a bodyguard for senior members of the Colombo family. That's how Lenny Montana came to be on the set of The Godfather in 1971. Coppola was captivated by Montana's formidable appearance and picked him to replace Lou Martini Sr. and play Luca Brasi in what would be Montana's first film appearance. So Lenny Montana, former wrestler, enforcer, arsonist, ex-convict, and tire of tampons to mice's tails, would play Luca Brasi. Montana's first scene was Brasi's audience with Don Corleone. Montana was extremely nervous appearing opposite legendary movie star Marlon Brando, and was having difficulty delivering his lines cleanly. After many flub takes, Coppola brilliantly decided to lean into Montana's genuine nervousness. He used a particularly bad take, the one you just saw, in the final cut of the movie. Then he set up and shot the scene where Brasi rehearsed his lines and added it to the movie to properly set up the scene with Brando. So, Brasi rehearsing his lines was not in the script, and had Montana been able to deliver his lines with Brando properly, it would not have been in the movie. Coppola's astute improvisation transformed what would have been a solid yet relatively mundane scene into an unforgettable bit that showcased the awe that Don Corleone inspired and made Luca Brasi a more sympathetic figure. I'll leave you with a clever bit of foreshadowing. Later in the movie, Brasi is tasked with pretending to be unhappy with the Corleone family to infiltrate the Tattaglia family. He walks into Bruno Tattaglia's bar. Watch the figures etched into the glass window at the end of the scene. Fish. Of course, the cunning Tattaglia is wise to Brasi's ploy, and what follows is some nasty business where Brasi is on the wrong end of a knife and a garrote. In the last shot of the scene, we see Brasi falling dead to the floor, once again through the glass with the etched fish. Fish, which of course would come up later.
What the hell is this?
That's a Sicilian message. It means Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes.
I'm Jack Azut. Thank you for watching.